Howdy y'all, Jackson here at the Trick Studios, and welcome back to the final regular season week of the World Virtual League of Gridiron Football. Let's just hop into the standings to see where things are at. In the Elite Conference, you have Anchorage leading the way with an undefeated record, with 7 wins, 0 losses, and 0 wins in overtime, and 0 losses in overtime, 21 points. Green Bay and Shooter Shoots are tied for second place, with both with a record of 3-4-0-0, 9 points each. Then in the rear, you have Champaign-Urbana Otter guys with a record of 2-5-0-0 and 6 points. Over in the Star Conference, Windy City leads the conference with a record of 6-1-0-0, 18 points. Nashville has second place with a record of 4-2-0-0, 12 points. Pawnee in third place with a record of 3-4-0-0 and 9 points. And Golden Tate in last place is yet to receive a win with 0-7-0-0 and no points. That side of the league is already set for playoffs, while the Elite Conference still can be shifted up pretty much everybody outside of Anchorage. So let's hop into the first game of the week. Shooter at Golden Tate, where the Shoots came away with a 16-7 victory to clinch the Warriors not having a single win for the entire year. Anyways, for the victorious Shooters, Tim Tebow was 15 of 24, 175 yards, touchdown, interception. Barry Sanders had 14 carries, 67 yards, touchdown. Randy Moss had 4 receptions at 56 yards, and that receiving touchdown. For the Warriors, Dan Marino was 4 of 8 for 41 yards. Reggie Bush had 12 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown. And Chad Johnson hauled in 1 reception for 15 yards. Into the next game of the week, you had Green Bay at Windy City, where the Gust came away with an easy 44-16 victory at home. For the Norsemen, Aaron Rodgers was 20 of 41 for 242 yards, a touchdown, 3 interceptions. LaDainian Tomlinson led the way on the ground for the Norsemen with 20 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown. Jerry Rice had 4 receptions for 86 yards and that receiving touchdown. Jonathan Crompton for the victorious Gust with 10 of 19, 140 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Glenn Davis led the way on the ground with 33 carries for 248 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had 2 receptions for 40 yards and a touchdown. Into the third game of the week, you had Champaign-Urbana at the Pawnee Little Sebastians, where the Otter guys came away with a 34-13 victory. Andrew Luck was 31 of 59, 343 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He also had 7 carries for 33 yards. For the Little Sebastians, Ryan Fitzpatrick was 20 of 44 for 234 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. He also had 4 carries for 21 yards. Torrey Holt hauled in 5 receptions for 80 yards and a touchdown. Now on to the game of the week, Anchorage at Nashville. Hello and welcome to Nashville, Tennessee and Vanderbilt Stadium as the Anchorage Polar Bears look to claim an undefeated season as they take on their rivals, the Nashville Nightmare. And it would be the Polar Bears that would get on the board first, as Bo Jackson would get in from 7 yards out. They'd follow that up later in the first with this 41-yard field goal to take a 10-0 lead. And after a very quiet second quarter, they'd kick another field goal as the half was coming to a close to take a 13-0 lead heading into halftime. But the Nightmare would come out hot to start the second half, kicking a field goal of their own to cut the deficit back to 10. And early in the fourth, they'd cut the deficit back down to 3, as Devin Gardner would find a man for a 7-yard touchdown. They'd soon get the ball back and march right back to the red zone, but Devin Gardner's pass would be picked off, keeping the deficit at 3. And capitalizing after that turnover, Kurt Warner would eventually find Calvin Johnson for a 12-yard score to make it once again a 2-score lead. And that would do it. Though Anchorage would miss their final extra point attempt, they'd win the game 19-10 to claim an undefeated season and a first-round bye in the playoff. In the box score, you can see for the victorious Polar Bears, Kurt Warner was 16 of 34 for 148 yards, a touchdown and interception. Bo Jackson had 27 carries, 176 yards, and a touchdown. Calvin Johnson hauled in 4 receptions for 48 yards and a score. For the Nightmare, Devin Gardner was 20 of 32, 167 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Jerome Bettis had 32 carries, 168 yards. He also had 3 receptions for 31 yards. Thank you all for watching this last week of the regular season of the World Virtual League of Gridiron Football. Again, if you're interested in having a franchise for the future of this league, feel free to fill out the form in the description below, as well as hitting the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribing to the channel if you have enjoyed the series as a whole, and hitting that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video comes out. Anyways, thank you again for watching. Bye.